Hello everybody, welcome back. Doing an oil change on the bike today. This is in reference to the Honda GXH50 or the Huasheng 142F and 144F. Very simple on this because if you watch my last video you'll see that I put a ball valve in there for easy oil changes. Let's see it down there. Very simple. All hands free and not a lot to do, or no tools necessary and required with this. I just have some paper towels over here, bag for paper towel dirty if I need it. It's a brake cleaner, my used oil bin, and then my clean oil bin, and my measuring bin there. So I'm going to try and stay out of the frame as best as I can and just get right into this and show you how simple it is. First step really easy. It's got a rubber boot on here. Work that sucker off. Put that in my bag. Take my oil tube. Put it up. The main reason I did this is this drain plug originally was so close to the motor mount that I had a little makeshift drain pan that I used to use just out of a little water bottle, but it would still get everywhere, all over. End up using not a whole can of brake cleaner, but you get the drift. It's a pain in the ass to clean up. So get that hose and got my used oil. This is great oil too. Now, I'm not sponsored by anybody or anything like that. I don't do YouTube videos a lot. I just do this for somebody wants to, use the same idea. Then you do you. That's all. But great oil. I've had zero good oil to run the motor on. Give them the oil. Tip my bike back. And let her loose. There she goes. Not a lot of oil in there. But it sure makes life easy. Oh, by the way, that oil catch can is doing a phenomenal job. See on the very bottom there? It's got like a Schrader valve on it. So you gotta be careful not to hit that when you're pulling that cap off. You get oil come out of there. I don't do it. I just take it off and drain it out, but you guys will see that. So yeah, I just take it off, empty it out on the oil change. Anytime it gets about yay high, I empty it. Why not? There's a few things I've been thinking about doing. I mean, it runs phenomenal. I have no issues whatsoever, but I'd like to have more power. And I'm looking into putting like a two-stroke carburetor on, like a slide style. And what I've come up with is the PZ19 carburetor for two strokes. Amazon sells a manifold that should fit this. I mic'd it and measured it. That's supposed to go on the Lafton 154F. It's like the 49cc bigger engine. I think they're on the Phantom Moto bikes, but they should line up. A little bit longer, manifold wise, and then with it being a slide carburetor, I guess there's ups and downs to it of it having a little bit better acceleration right off the bat. And this is no slouch. I have no complaints about what I got set up now, but it would be nice if I could get more out of it. So I'm going to try that. I ditched the big air filter because it kept ripping on me. And to be honest with you, the smaller one seems to have better flow than the big one. I thought it was more restrictive, and I'll show you why. So, with the velocity stack on there, I got two came in a deal here, so one purchase. The inside there, the inside diameter, I didn't measure that and how big that is. This is 62 millimeters. Now here's the bigger filter, which ended up tearing right there. So junk, can't use it. There's no restriction. So going over that velocity stack, this does cover the lip of that velocity stack, which the whole point is to use that vacuum and try to condense in the air and all that stuff. So, but no complaints. It runs pretty good even with this little filter on there. It's fine. Now with that PZ19 carburetor, it's kind of already got a velocity stack built into the back just a little bit, and then with the longer running manifold would pretty much take up the space of how long this carburetor is, and then on top of the little bit length of that carburetor, which is probably a little bit narrower than this one that's on here. Now I'll perhaps do like a 45 or 90 degree angle, probably 90 degree angle like filter that comes off the side. Probably have to switch out the throttle cable. Now this throttle assembly I have set up on here came from, I think, Affordable Go-Karts. I can't remember, it's been a while. And it's a bracket that mounts up to the top of the valve cover gasket. I do have to say, it did break. It broke right, you can't see it, but right in this area. So I ended up just cutting a piece of metal plate, some scrap I had laying around, and just bolting one side and then bolting the other side to the, and it's holding up good. So, yeah. We've also been looking into things I can do, like maybe lightening this, lightening it, yeah. I want to lightning it, yeah. Lightening the flywheel a little bit. Yeah, see, I don't run my cover on here. It runs fine. It doesn't need the cover. I live in Arizona where it's over 115. I rode this all summer, no problem. The thing about, and this is where I have qualms, maybe, is if I cut these fins off, will it throw the balance off of this flywheel? I'm not sure, because I know it's weighted on both ends here, But I don't know if the fins will have anything to do with it. I don't think it will. I think if I cut them off, it'll lighten it up a little bit. Maybe it'll help get the RPMs up a little faster. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Do you think should I do it or should I not do it? Shit. I think that's it. Yeah, I had a flat tire not too long ago. On my way home from a dinner with a family member that's getting up there in age, and I didn't notice it until I was almost home, and the ass end started kind of giving me a little wiggle jiggle on a turn. I stopped really quick, and yeah, she was low, but with that setup that I have, I got the 2 inner liner puncture deals on the inside with that thick tube, and slime in the tires what got me home. So I made it home. The tire wasn't completely flat, and that was that. It actually, where's the, and I pulled a cotter pin out of the tire. That's what gave me a flat. Just a little tiny one, which I'm gonna keep because these little ones I have a half link on the drive chain to make that work, and it uses a cotter pin just about this size. So I got a flat tire, but I gained a cotter pin that I could use. So hey. Oh yeah, one more thing, and then I'll get back to the oil change. I know I'm jabbering, but hey, if you're here and you're still watching, you're awesome. Something I tried in the past was, this idea of, because I like old cars and muscle cars, old classics, trucks. I'm more of a truck guy, but I thought, man, maybe I should make a ram intake for this and see what happens. So I did. I bought this. These are 2 separate pieces here. This is actually just electrical tape together, but it's held together really well. And I figured, hey, I can do a ram intake on it. One of these filters, I can just wedge it in there and mount it up like that. But I did it on the other side, and it did work. It did work until I hit a higher RPM. When I hit a higher RPM, I feel like it was forcing too much air in, and I wasn't getting enough gas. So if you think of anything turbocharged or supercharged, how all the little things getting just a lot of things come into factor. I don't want to go into all that, but if you know, you know. So it was a good idea. Maybe in the future I could. I can't try it with the NT card, or the not NT, PZ19. I couldn't try it with that card. But whatever. It is what it is. What I am thinking about doing is maybe, because AGK used to sell cans for this. And they have the numbers. They have the magic numbers to make these run a little bit better with a reground cam. So I might call them up in the future sometime. And something else is maybe I might have a custom piston made for this, and it'll be just under about. I know you guys are going to be like, that's ridiculous. About a millimeter taller. But that's going to raise my compression from like 8 to 1 to like 9 to 4, I think, with the math. If I remember, I got a screenshot of if you go, I was like at first Googling, oh, maybe I can, maybe 3-4 millimeters. And the compression was like 16 to 1. And I'm like, yeah, that ain't gonna work. So, yeah, just I think a little bit of compression. And if I do that, when I do that, I'm gonna port out my intake a little bit bigger too. I've got some meat to work with there. I did my exhaust really well. That's about as far as I want to go with that. But I could have taken more down when I did that, and I knew I could have, but I didn't. I didn't as much as the old motor, the 142. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get the other motor really quick. Sorry about that. So on the 142, exhaust there. Oh, that's right, those are studs. Yeah, I ended up stripping these out, and I had to tap it. And if you're gonna tap that, you need to be very careful. I would recommend using tap oil or even motor oil if you have it. And you make sure you get a bottom tap. If you don't know what a bottom tap is, then look it up and get one, because a regular tap will thread, but it will leave you about that far short of getting those threads all the way in, and if you try to tighten it down, it will strip them. So you need to get 2 taps. I think these are M6. So anyway, that's the exhaust, and then this was the intake. See there. I mean, it's not perfect. I did this with a Dremel by hand, so there was a lot of burrs and imperfections around the valve stem down in there, like just big piece of castings, just chunks, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta clean that out. So I did the same thing with this one, but I didn't take off as much. And this is the flywheel on here. I put it on here off of this motor, off the 144. This one is the huasheng flywheel, and technically it's not governed. I don't know. I didn't run the 144. I didn't run it before I tore it apart, put the connecting rod and out the valves and ported it and did that stuff. So I don't actually know. With that, and it's got the round barrel type CBI ignition on there as well. And then, just for reference, these are NGK plugs, the part number. They're really good plugs. You have that. Here. These guys, the iridiums, part number right there, 7544. So, these are little things that I mess with. And I've been tinkering with since I had this motor. There was something else I was gonna. Having a moment. Call us a 40s moment. Just turned 40 in July, so these things are starting to happen to me. Anyway. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, the connecting rods. I have a spare connecting rod, Honda one, because I want to build one for my wife. She absolutely loves the bike, and she keeps asking me when you're gonna build me one. So that's going to be in the works here for Christmas. I'm gonna build her one for Christmas. And I don't know. I kind of want to see if I can take this motor to a machine shop, because these cases split right here. And this side, you do have room to hone that out. And if I could get this one honed out to the spec on this motor, so the 144F, I can buy the piston and connecting rod, or have one made, and probably save me about $100 or maybe $125. Plus, it already has everything, the porting on it, the lap valves, and all that shit. So that could do it. The connecting rods, let's see. Alright, this is the Honda connecting rod. I haven't even opened this one yet. Should cut that. They're so tiny. So that's your Honda connecting rod. You know it's a Honda part when it's marked like that. And when it comes in the Honda bag, that's the part number if you guys want to do that. And if you go on Amazon or whatever, or, AliExpress, to look for these connecting rods, usually these are the ones that you see, are the Mars brand. And this is what comes in the huasheng. You can tell the differences here. What I like more about this Honda connecting rod are these little valleys here, north, south, east, and west, for lubrication around the crank, and then even up here in the I don't know. The Mars, they are thicker. I could weigh them, but I tell you, actually, I don't know why, but the Honda one feels heavier, even though it's thinner. As far as height goes, I have not actually mic'd these. Should we do that now? Even though it's just like 4 millimeters taller, I think. Let me grab my micrometer. I'm old school. I like using this because it's a metric. Now, I'm not going to try and measure this exact, so I'm going to do the best I can, okay? So don't give me a hard time. Now give me a hard time. Leave your comments, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to do it like this. So we got... almost 49. That's actually, I think that's right. It's like 48. No, it's 38, right? The connecting rod's supposed to be 30. No, 35.8. And then the Honda's supposed to be 36, if I remember right. Could be wrong. But Let's see. Honda. It's the same. 48, huh? Well, well, well. Oh, shit. I know if you were to measure pin to pin, center to center, I guess I could use the galleys on the inside here, those little grooves. I'll have to eyeball it. Actually pretty good at this. So we're going to use right at the center of the main cap. That is centered dead middle. There we go. That is dead center. Okay, right there. Right at that's a 60.08 is what I put that at. Almost 61 millimeters. Same thing with the Mars. It is shorter. I'll be. It's right at 59, just like almost right at 59. So, yeah, it's literally, yeah, it's like 2 millimeters taller on the Honda rod. So that's significant. Remember I told you about that piston, how much that raised the compression. So from the research I did, these get up to where 7 to 4 compression, sometimes 8 to 0 or 8 to 1 compression. So every little counts. So anyway, just a little fun thing that I thought I'd show you guys and see. I wish I had all this stuff lined out before. I know I'm talking about a whole bunch of other stuff other than an oil change, but I'd like to jabber. So alright, obviously we're done here. Let's give it a couple oil in this. Alright, well, that's good. I'm going to call that good. Pull my hose off. Oh, well, close the valve. Close that valve off. Should I make a mess? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Jiggle, jiggle. Voila. Boom. My little cap. I always like to take a Q-tip and just get in there and get any remnants sitting on that ball valve. It's because oil and rubber, if that oil sits on rubber, it will eat it. I have this cap on there not only to keep that nipple clean, but just in case that ball valve fails, won't spill that oil all over the back end of my tire, or make me crash or blow up my motor, or all those bad things that can happen. Slip the nipple back on there. We're ready to do an oil change. Or, we're doing an oil change, right? Yeah. No, I'm doing fill her up. And I just tip her up and pull off that. I need a wrench for that. Believe it or not, that thing is on there pretty tight. Gotta be careful with it. It is plastic. I know it's a hardened plastic, but try to be somewhat careful not clamp it, crack it. Yeah, I've already emptied this, but there's a little bit catch there. You can tell how dirty your oil is too, which is a plus, right? It's a plus. And that little wipe down with the gaskets. Give us a little love. Take that oil. Let's do this. Dump it in that paper towel. No wishy wash. Stick that there for later. That goes in the trash. Man, it's low. It's really low. It's not good. It's not good like my bad jokes, right? So that's that. Wipe-a-roo. Measure out my oil. Now, I know there might be debate on how much oil. This is what I run. 8.32 ounces. I measured this out with the 1 ounce glass, shot glass. Exactly. So, run whatever measurement you want to run. That's what I did. And I just made this to make it easy. And it's cheaper. I'm a cheap bastard. Try to do everything myself. And that's that. This paper towel. I don't know this about these bottles, but they like to run down the side, even after you wipe them off. And I have no idea where it comes from. It's like it runs down right here on the front. I wipe it down, and still I come back to it, and I got oil. Let me get it. Here's some old used stuff. See, right there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, where does that come from? I wipe it down and everything, and still anyway. So that's that. Get my funnel. I do it on this side. So come around to the side with me. Put it in there like yonder. Clip my saddlebag. And by the way, with my saddlebag, it's got a little clip on the, I don't know if you can see it. I just use these little keychain rings, clips, and then clip it to the rack, to the back rack there. It's got some bars going down, and it holds it up just fine. I mean, I've had full loads of groceries in these, and like overflowing groceries, and they hold up fine. They don't break. So just a little another snippet on if you're like, oh, how can I clamp that saddlebag down to, that, blah, 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 if you run saddlebag. Oil. And crank it up. Yeah, that's all you get. Oil. Oh shit. That's dipstick. Gasket, it just sits up there, but it recesses peanut butter cup. Kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup in the oil cache. So get it lined up and then kind of give it a wiggle jiggle. There she goes. Just walking down the street, singing, she looks good, looks fine, looks good, looks fine, and I just usually crank it on there hand tight and give it a little nudge. Little up. And that is it. That's the oil change. All done. Fresh oil, ready to go for another next oil change. I don't count the miles, man. I know I change it more often probably than I should. Usually guesstimate, so anyway. Should I fire it up for everybody? I know everybody probably wants to hear it, so let's fire her up. Alright, well, thanks for listening to my jabbering, and that's my little dealio with the oil change. Everybody, you have a good one.